Okay, hi everyone. So let's start with solutions of series 2 of December 2021 exam MTP. In my opinion, this is the best mock test paper till now. It closely resembles the actual exam. Other mock test papers are also good, but they mostly have questions from module. In exam, there are going to be new questions, surprises always, and this mock test paper contains a good amount of different questions and complex questions. I would strictly suggest that you should solve this first by yourself and then only come to these solutions, okay, because that is going to help you in exam. We are going to try to solve as many questions as we can within 1 minute. So let's try. Okay, these are some questions are very complex, some are simple as usual. Okay, so let's start. As usual, first few instructions. I'm going to conduct this in English, so language should not be a barrier. Second, in this MTP they give part A, part B, that is maths, logical reasoning, stats. But in actual exam it is not going to be like that. Okay, so let's start immediately. Question 1. If log 5 to base 10 plus log 5x plus 1 to base 10 plus is equal to log of x plus 5 to base 10 plus 1, then x is equal to what? First we need to remove that log if we want to find x, right? But this term is a problem, so what we can do is we'll write 1 as log 10, right? 1 can be written as log 10 to base 10. Now everything has base 10 and everything has log. So let's combine these two. Log a plus log b is what? Log of a b, right, is equal to, again, log a plus log b will be log of this 10 into x plus 5. Now we can just remove log from both sides. So 5 into 5x plus 1 is equal to 10 into x plus 5. 5, 1, 2 we can cancel. So 5x plus 1 is equal to 2x plus 10 if we open the brackets. That means if we rearrange, 3x is equal to 9, so x is equal to 3. 3 is the correct answer. Okay. Next, second, if xy plus yz plus zx is minus 1, then what is value of this? Now, I always suggest, if you have watched my other lectures, I always suggest that as much as possible try to put values of x, y, z, because then it becomes very easy. But here it is difficult to put values for x, y and z, so that this is minus 1. So let's try to solve this question. Now how we can approach this is concentrate very carefully. See, one way that seems is we can cross multiply and take LCM, okay, but that is going to become very complicated because as you can see it is 1 plus xy will be multiplied by this and this will also be multiplied by this. So that is going to be complex. So what we can do is we have this is equal to minus 1. That means minus xy minus yz minus zx will be equal to plus 1, positive 1, right? So let's take only this first term and in place of this positive 1 we will put this value. Okay, let's try only first term. So it will be x plus y upon, instead of 1 we will put minus xy minus yz minus zx and then this plus xy. That means xy will be cancelled. Let's take from this, let's take minus z common. So it will become x plus y, and if we take minus z common, then if you see this will be plus y plus x, that means again x plus y. So if we cancel this, this is going to be 1 by minus z or minus 1 by z. That means this first term is simply minus 1 by z. That means second term will be, see, this was xy, that is why z came there. So this is zy, that means it will be minus 1 by x, and this is zx, that means it will be minus 1 by y. Now that is not in the options, but let's simplify it. Okay, minus 1 by z minus 1 by x minus 1 by y. Now let's take LCM. Here we have z as denominator, so we'll multiply by x and y. So minus xy minus, here we'll have z and y, minus zy minus zx upon, that will be x, y, z. Now understand, in question we have this numerator minus xy minus zy minus zx as 1. See, that means it is just 1 by x, y, z. So option C is the correct answer. This was a good question, you can mark it. Third one, salaries of ABC are in the ratio 2, 3, 5. If increments of 15%, 10% and 20% are done their respective in the respective salaries, find new salaries. You can just do one calculator. 2 plus 15% is 2.3, is to 3 plus 10% is 3.3, is to 5 plus 20% is 6. So 2.3 is to 3.3 is to 6. If you observe, this ratio matches. check. 23, 33, 60. They are just multiplied by 10. So that is the answer. Fourth, combined ratio question. A, B, C, D. We have A is to B is 5 is to 3. B is to C is 6 is to 7. C is to D is 14 is to 9. Okay. One thing you can do is, as I have explained in previous MTP, you can combine the ratios one by one. But don't do that in this question, because this question can be solved in an easier way. If you want to know a general approach to this question, go to first MTP solution. I have explained it there. Okay. But otherwise here we have an easy way. This is 3, right? So let's just double that ratio. It will become 10 is to 6. So this combined ratio will just become 10 is to 6 is to 7. Again, this is 14. That means we can just double that 7. So this will become 10 into 2, 20, 6 into 2, 12, 7 into 2, 14, and then 9. So that should be the answer, 20, 12, 14, 9. If you want to see a general solution to this question, go to previous MTP, that has the answer. Okay. Fine. Next. Salary of P is 25% lower than Q and salary of R is 20% higher than Q. What is ratio of salary of R and P? Okay. Let's assume salary of Q as 100. That means salary of P is 25% lower, so 75. Salary of R is 20% higher, so 120. Ratio of salary of R is to P. That means we want 120 is to 75. Just do it on calculator. 120 by 75 is 1.6. So check which ratio gives us 1.6. I think this, right? 8 by 5 is 1.6, correct. So B is the correct answer. The cab bill is partly fixed and partly varies on distance covered. For 456 kilometers, the bill is 8252. And for 484 kilometers, the bill is 8728. Then what will be bill for 500 kilometers? Okay. Understand, there is some portion which is variable and some portion which is fixed. Variable is what? It depends on kilometers. So for example, it will be X for 1 kilometer. So for 456 kilometers, it will be 456X. And here it will be 484X, correct? Plus, there is some fixed portion. Let's say that fixed portion is Y. So plus there is some Y portion, and that gives us the total bill. So we can just solve this equation to get X and Y. Let's try that. So if we subtract the two equations, Y will be cancelled, and 8728 minus 8252, that is 476, is equal to 484 minus 456 is 28X. That means X will be what? 476 by 28, that is 17 per kilometer. And how will we find Y? Let's put that 17 here. So let's put this as 17. So 456 into 17. So variable portion is 7752. Let's subtract it from this. So Y is 500. Now we can find bill for 500 kilometers. For 500 kilometers, it will be 500 into 17 rupees plus 500 rupees fixed. So it will be 500 into 17 plus 500. That is 9,000 rupees. Option D is the correct answer. Okay. Seventh is a really good one, mark it. X plus 4 is a factor of this. Also A plus B is 29. Find value of B. Okay. For this you should at least know either synthetic division or long division. Okay, synthetic division is easier. How do we perform synthetic division? We want to divide this, and we know that this is a factor, that is X is equal to minus 4 is one of the answers to this. They're equal to 0 they should have given, but they have not given, that is fine. X is equal to minus 4 is one answer of this equation. So how do we perform synthetic division? We write coefficients 1, 4, minus A, minus B, 24. Then X is minus 4, so we write minus 4 here. If you don't know synthetic division, you can let me know in comments. I can make a short video on that. That is useful for cubic equations. Now what we do is, this 1 we write as it is. Then minus 4 into 1 is minus 4. Then we add these to 0. Then again minus 4 into 0 is 0. Again we add these two. Minus A plus 0 is minus A. Again minus 4 into minus A is 4A. Again we add these two, that is 4A minus B. Again we multiply this 4 into, so that will be minus 16A plus 4B. And this should be 0 because it is a factor. That means that should be 0, that last part. That should be 0 means what? 24 plus this is going to be 0. So we get an equation. What equation? 24 plus 16a. 24 minus 16a plus 4b is equal to 0. That means 24 is equal to 16a minus 4b. We can take 4 common and divide it. So let me write this here. 16a, we can take 4 common, so it will be 4a minus b is equal to 24. That means 4a minus b is 6, right? And we know that a plus b is 29. A plus b is 29. So let's add the two equations. So that will give us 5a, b will be cancelled, is equal to 29 plus 6, that is 35. That means a is equal to what? 7. 35 by 5. A is 7. A plus b is 29. A is 7 means what? B is 29 minus 7, which is 22. Option C is the correct answer. This was a good question. Mark it. Okay. Next. 8th. X and Y have their present ages in the ratio 6:7. That means let's assume their ages are 6x and 7x. 14 years ago, that is minus 14, their ratio was 4:5. That means this was 4:5. What will be the ratio of their ages 21 years from now? Okay, let's solve that for x. So 5, let's multiply here. 30x minus 70 is equal to 28x minus 56, right? Fine. So if we solve that, 2x is equal to 70 minus 56, that is 14. That means x is 7. That means their current ages are 6x and 7x. That is 6 into 7 and 7 into 7, right? So after 21 years, their ages will be 63 and 70. So ratio will be 63:70. Okay, we can divide it by 7, so it will be 9:10. Option B is the correct answer. I hope everyone has got this. 9th is a good one. Equation this has roots that are double that of this equation. What is the value of m plus n? M plus n. Okay. It's a good question. Let's assume that, okay, let me open notes so that I'll be able to explain it better. Okay, so the first equation that they have given is 3x square plus mx plus n. And the second equation is x square plus 10x plus 12. If roots of this are alpha and beta, then the roots of the first equation are 2 alpha and 2 beta, because they are saying the roots are double of that other equation's roots, right? And we want m plus n. Okay, no problem. Now understand, here standard form of quadratic equation is what? X square minus sum of roots into x plus product of roots is equal to 0. Standard form as in standard form using sum and product. That means if we match this, minus 10 is sum of roots and 12 is product of roots. Okay, fine. Now instead of alpha and beta, if we want 2 alpha and beta, then we'll have to multiply this by 2. Okay, that means 2 alpha plus 2 beta is equal to minus 20. Similarly, if we want here 2 alpha and 2 beta, 2 alpha, 2 beta, that means it will be 4 alpha beta. So we'll have to multiply this side also by 4. So 12 into 4 is 48. That means 4 alpha beta, that is product of this equation roots. This equation's roots are 48. So this is the sum, this is the product. 2 alpha plus 2 beta and 2 alpha into 2 beta for this equation. But we know that for this equation, sum of roots will be what? Minus b by a, that is minus m by 3. Similarly, product of roots will be what? C by a, that is n by 3. So we have two equations. Minus 20 is equal to minus m by 3, that means m is equal to 60, and 48 is equal to n by 3, that is n is equal to 48 into 3, 144. We want m plus n, so answer will be 144 plus 60, that is 204. Option B is the correct answer. This was a very good question. Okay. 10th is a time pass question because we can go by options. What is the smallest integral value, that is integer value of n, for which this will be greater than 0? Just go by options. Smallest integer they are asking. Let's try 6. So 6 cube, 6 into equal to m plus. Then 7 into 6 square, that is 7 into 36 m plus. 50 into 6 m minus. 336 m minus. If you press MRC, you get minus 168. That is not greater than 0, so that is not our answer. Let's try 7. 7 cube m plus. 7 into 7 square, 49 m plus. 50 into 7 m minus and 336 m minus. That gives us 0. That means still it is not greater than 0, right? We want greater than 0. So 8 will be obviously the answer, but still let's try 8 once. 8 cube m plus. 7 into 8 square m plus. 50 into 8 m minus. 336 m minus. If you press MRC, you get 224. So A is the correct answer. Fine. Next, if alpha and beta are the roots of this equation, then what is the equation whose roots are alpha plus beta square and alpha minus beta square? Okay. So they are saying this equation's roots are alpha and beta. We can go by some product, but no need. We can just solve this. Okay, how we can solve this? Let's solve this equation, right? Minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So the answer is going to be minus 7 plus minus 1 by 2. So two answers of this equation are minus 7 minus 1, that is minus 8 by 2, so minus 4, and minus 6 by 2, that is minus 3. This is alpha, this is beta. Easy. Now we want equations whose roots are alpha plus beta bracket square. That means minus 4 plus minus 3 bracket square. That is minus 7 square, so 49. And alpha minus beta bracket square, that is minus 4 minus minus 3 bracket square. That is minus 1 square, so 1. So for new equation, this is root 1 and this is root 2. How can we create an equation? X square minus sum of roots into x plus product of roots is 0. So option C is the correct answer for this. Okay. 12th. Let's go to 12th. Okay. Now for question 12, one thing that you can use is they are asking value of k for this, where k matlab value of k such that this has no solution. One thing that you can use is Cramer's rule. Okay. This was in the chapter of matrices, but the chapter is now removed from syllabus. So you may not have studied Cramer's rule, but that is okay. If you know Cramer's rule, then find determinants and get the answer. That is a good way. But otherwise, forget about it. Understand something. How we can solve this still. Try to imagine no solution. No solution means what? See, when do two equations have solution? When their lines are intersecting. This intersection point is the solution. So when will they have no solution? When the lines are parallel, right? When the lines are parallel, then they will have no solution because there will be no intersection. No intersection. When will the lines be parallel? Try to understand logically. For example, if we have x plus y as 5 and another equation as, let's say another equation that we have is x plus y is equal to 10. Now obviously that has no solution because x plus 5 is 5 and x plus y is 10. That is not possible together. So this must be something like that. So what we'll try to do is we have one equation as 3x plus y is equal to 1, right? Okay. Now we will try to convert this equation such that on left hand side we get 3x plus y is equal to something. Okay, 3x plus y is equal to something. Now if you observe the options carefully, if we put x as 6, option 3, then it will become k as 6. Sorry, if we put k as 6, k they are asking, right? So kx, that is 6x plus 2y is equal to 5. We can take 2 common from that. That means if we take 2 common, 3x plus y. That means this equation gives 3x plus y is equal to 5 by 2. Okay. Is it possible that 3x plus y is also equal to 1 and 3x plus y is also equal to 5 by 2? Not possible, that means there is no solution in that case, right? So that is why 6 is the answer. This you can solve by observation. One other thing that you can do is you can put these values and try, but that will take time, obviously. The best thing that you can do is you can go prepare a determinant. Determinant method is a good way to solve this kind of questions. Although matrices chapter is removed from the syllabus, you can study determinants and Cramer's rule apart to just get the gist of this concept. Okay, fine. Let's go to 13. Just a second. Okay, 13th. On the average, experienced person does 5 units of work. This question they repeat in every MTP. Okay, so let's say experienced person X people are there. That means they will do 5x work, and fresh one will do 3x work. But the employer has to maintain at least 30 units of work, right? So that means this has to be at least 30 their total. So obviously B is the correct answer. They put this in nearly every MTP. Okay, ठीक है. Sum of money doubles itself in 10 years. The number of years it would triple itself is. Now these kind of questions are technically wrong because they should specify whether it is simple interest or compound interest. Okay, but let's assume it is simple interest. If it is simple interest, that means if principal is P, then amount will be 2P, and amount minus principal will give us interest. So interest will also be P, right? Now we know that simple interest P is equal to principal into number of years into interest rate. So PP we can cancel. So 1 is equal to N, which is 10, into I. That means I is going to be 1 by 10, which is 10%. If I is 10%, we want triple. We want triple, right? That means we want amount as 3P and principal will be P. That means simple interest will be 2P. So simple interest is equal to principal into N into I. Again we can cancel P. So N will be 2 by 10%, which is 20. Option C. Okay. 15th. Okay. Now 15th is a bit of illogical question. Why? Let's read. Arun purchased a vacuum cleaner by giving 1700 as cash down payment, which will be followed by 5 EMIs of 480 each, so equated monthly installments. Vacuum cleaner can also be bought by paying 3900 cash. Out of 3900 cash, we have paid 1700 as down payment. That means how much is loan? 3900 minus 1700. So 2200 is the loan amount. What is the approx rate of interest per annum? Now illogical part is this: at simple interest under this installment plan. Now there is no concept like this that there is simple interest for EMIs. Because if you are paying monthly installments, then it has to be compound interest. It cannot be simple interest. Okay. So technically using compound interest, how we can solve this is we can assume this as present value of annuity. And then we can assume that there are 5 installments of 480 each. And we can find present value annuity factor going by each option individually. Okay. But that does not give the answer. Okay. So let's do it as they are saying. They want us to calculate simple interest, so let's calculate simple interest. Fine. How to calculate simple interest now? Understand, we have to pay 2200 today, but we are paying 480 into 5. 480 into 5 is how much? 2400 we are paying. That means how much interest we are paying? We are paying 200 rupees interest. 200 rupees interest we are paying for loan of 2200. Okay. That means how much percent? 200 by 2200, 9.09 recurring percent. But this is for 5 months, right? This is for 5 months. So we'll have to divide this by 5 and multiply by 12 to get annual rate. So divide by 5 into 12. That gives us 21.81. So 22 we can take. But understand that this is not a logical question. Simple interest rate cannot be used for these situations. Okay, compound interest rate must be used. So let's go to the next one. Next, 16th. It is a simple PVAR question. Present value of 5-year annuity is 2000. If interest rate is 8%, what is amount of each annuity payment? We know that present value is annuity amount into present value annuity factor. How do we find present value annuity factor? 1 divided by 1.08. 1 divided by 1.08. 5 times equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 GT. That gives us 3.9927. Don't write it down. Press M plus, add it to memory. then 2000 divided by MRC equal to, that gives us 500.9, option A. Abdul has taken loan up from Bahadur 7% per annum. The loan has to be paid in 3 equal yearly installments of 10,000 each. Again, what is amount of loan? That means you want present value, which is annuity amount into present value annuity factor. Again, 1 divided by 1.07, 3 times equal to 123 GT multiplied by 10,000. 26,243, option C. Simple. Next, 18. 18 is a good question. A took a loan from B. The loan is to be repaid in annual installments of 2,000 each. Again, if you see, they want value of loan today. That means it is present value question only. 2,000 into something. But there is something tricky. Understand? The first installment is to be paid 3 years from today, and the last one is to be paid 8 years from today. That means the loan installments will not start from first year. They will start from third year and will go till 8th year. How do we solve this? I have explained this earlier in few of the questions in other videos, but understand once again. How do we find present value now? 8% is the interest rate. So 1 divided by 1.08 will 2. But we want to add values from third year to 8th year only. So what we'll do is, we'll press equal to, that will give us first year's factor. Again equal to, so second year. Again equal to, that will give us third year's factor. This we want third year, fourth year, fifth year, 6, 7, 8. These also we want, right? So what we'll do is, we'll press M plus for each of them. M plus, and so on. How? Understand. 1 divided by 1.08. First press just equal to 2 times. 1, 2. That is okay. Now third time equal to and M plus. Again fourth equal to M plus. Fifth equal to M plus. Sixth equal to M plus. Seventh equal to M plus. Eighth equal to M plus. Now if you press MRC, you will get total only from 3 to 8. That is 3.9633 something. Multiplied by 2000 should be our answer. 7926.7. That is 7927. Option B. Okay. Next. 19th. If cost of capital is 12%, NPV is to be calculated. Fine, NPV is easy. So we just have to find present value of everything. This year 0, so present value is minus 100. Year 1, so we have to discount by 1 year. Discount means what? We have to divide by 1 plus I raised to n. So 1.12 raised to n raised to 1. So 60 divided by 1.12, that is, don't write it, m plus. 40 divided by 1.12 and press 2 times equal to, because we have to go to second year. So 40 divided by 1.12, 2 times equal to m plus. 50 divided by 1.12, 3 times equal to m plus. Press MRC and minus 100. That gives us 21.048, which is this, because it is in thousand, so 21048. Fine. Now in question 20, they have not asked what is to be calculated. See, let operating profit for 5 years as, and it is not 5 years, they have given 6 years, and they have not asked what is to be calculated. Let's assume that we want to calculate CAGR, because that seems logical. For CAGR, what do? We take last year as amount, first year as principal. So 157.35 is equal to principal into 1 plus I raised to n. N is now not 6 years, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay. Let's assume that we want to find CAGR. I don't know what is to be calculated. They have not given. So that means 1 plus I raised to 5 is equal to 157.35 by 90. Don't write it down, whatever it is. So let's raise it by 1 by 5. So that this 5 will be cancelled. How do we raise it by 1 by 5? This is 1.7483 something. How do we raise it by 1 by 5? We have to use 12 times square root wala method. If you don't know that method, go to a video. I have prepared a separate video for that 12 times root wala method. How do we do it? 1.7483 something. Then 12 times square root. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minus 1 into power 1 by 5 plus 1. And then into equal to 12 times. So into equal to 1, into equal to 2, 3. That gives us 1.1182. which is 1 plus I. That means I is 0.1182 or 11.82%. Now maybe they wanted to ask this, I don't know. If they wanted to ask this, then this is the answer, 12%. But 11.82% is the answer. Next, if a sum triples itself in 15 years at simple rate of interest, then the rate of interest will be what? Okay, that is simple. Principal is P, so amount will be 3P. That means simple interest will be 2P. But simple interest is what? P into N into I. So we can just cancel PP. That means I is equal to 2 by 15. 2 by 15 is 13.33%, option B. Next, again simple, what will be population after 3 years when present population is 25,000, and population increases at rate of 3% in year 1, 4% in year 2, 5% in year 3. So take 25,000 calculator, plus 3% plus 4% plus 5%. That is it. A is the correct answer, 28,119. Next, future value of annuity of rupees 1500, future value of annuity of rupees 1500 made annually for 5 years at 10% compounded annually. Future value is at 1 plus A into 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 upon I. 1 plus I raised to n they have given 1.61051 minus 1 divided by I is 10% into 1500. That gives us 9157.65. Okay, option B. Next, 24. Effective rate of interest equivalent to nominal rate of 7% compounded monthly, converted monthly. Okay. 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 for 1 year. That is the formula for finding effective rate of interest. So 1 plus I will be what? 7% by 12. N means 12 months minus 1. How do we do that? For this, take 7 by 100 by 12. Then plus 1. Then raised to 12. So into and equal to 11 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. Minus 1. That gives us 7.22%, 229%. Option B is the correct answer. Next, 25. How much will be 25,000 in 2 years at compound interest if rates are 4% and 5% per year? So 25,000 plus 4% plus 5%, that is 27,300 is the correct answer, option A. Next, a box contains 3 pink, 2 purple and 4 orange caps. In how many ways they can be arranged so that caps of same color come together? Assume that same color caps are not identical. This is important, otherwise the answer would have been different. Not identical means we want 3 pink caps together, 2 purple together, 4 orange together. These 3 pink caps can be arranged in 3 factorial ways. 2 factorial, 4 factorial, and is multiplication, and these 3 groups can be shuffled in 3 factorial ways. So answer will be 6 into 2 into 24 into 6, that is 1728, option B. 27 is a good one. 15C3 plus 15C13. 15C3 plus 15C13 can also be written as 15C15 minus 13, because NCR is also equal to NCN minus R. Right. 15 minus 13 is what? 2. So 15C3 plus 15C2. And there is one property which, if you remember, NCR plus NCR minus 1 is equal to N plus 1 CR. Understand? NCR plus NCR minus 1 is equal to N plus 1 CR. 16C3 will be the correct answer, option A. Next, 28. There are 12 questions to be answered in yes, no. How many ways can these be answered? So 1, 2, 3, 4 is a 12 questions are there. For every question there are 2 ways for first and 2 ways for second and 2 ways for third and so on. So it will be 2 raised to 12. It is 2 raised to 12. 4096, option C. 29th, I think they have made some printing mistake, because they are asking how many ways, in how many ways can 3 prizes be distributed among 3 students equally. Equally means what? We can just give we have to just give 1 prize to every 1 student, right? So that will be 3 factorial 6. That is not in the options. Maybe they wanted to print something else, or maybe this option was 6. I don't know. Skip it. 30. 30 is a very good question, I mean, there is a very good trick to solve this. Otherwise, you will take a lot of time, but otherwise, there is a very good trick. Understand? First three terms, sum of first three terms of AP is 18. Sum of last three terms is 28. If AP has 13 terms, what is the sum of middle three terms? Understand the trick. Understand the trick. There are 13 terms of this AP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They have given us sum of first three terms and last three terms. They want us to find sum of middle three terms. You can go by formulas, you will get the answer, but this is 18 and this is 28. Always remember that for AP, sum of extreme terms or average of extreme terms is equal to middle term. So average of extreme three terms, extreme three terms will give us the middle term always. What happens is, just take an example. For example, if you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then if you take average of 1 and 5, it will be 3. Check. 1 plus 5, 6, 6 by 2 is 3. Or if you take average of this 4, still it will be 3. How? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 4, because there are 4 numbers. 12 by 4, that is still 3. That means if we take average of these 6 terms, that is going to give us this term, middle term, right? Fine. So what will happen is 18 average. How will you find average? Sum, that is 18 plus 28 divided by, there are 6 terms, so 18 plus 28 by 6. That means this middle term is 7.6 recurring. 7.6 recurring. Now understand, if this is A, then this is A minus D, this is A plus D. That means sum of middle three terms will be what? If we add this, D will be cancelled, so 3A. Okay, so this is A and we want 3A, so 3A will be what? 7.66666 into 3, which is 22.9 recurring, which is 23. So 23 will be the correct answer. Or you can go by our normal way, which is first three terms is this, or you can use SN ka formula also. Last three terms will be 11, 12, 13. So A plus 10D plus A plus 11D plus A plus 12D. This is given as 18, this is given as 28. Solve the equations, find A and D, and then find sum of middle terms. That is okay. Okay. But if you have understood this logically, then very good. If you have understood the chapter of AP logically, then you should be able to get this. Next, 31. Ratio of sum of first n natural numbers, which is n into n plus 1 by 2, divided by sum of cubes of first n natural numbers, which is n into n plus 1 by 2 bracket square, is. So we can just cancel this and square will be cancelled. So it will be 1 by, so just reciprocal, 2 by n into n plus 1, option C. Next, sum of n terms, it should be, of AP is 2n square. What is fifth term? Fine. Sn is 2n square, right? That means sum of first term, that is the first term, will be 2. That means first term is 2. Sum of first two terms will be 2 into 2 square, that is 8. That means second term is difference of 2 and 8, that is 6. Let's find third term also. S3 will be what? 2 into 3 square, that is 18. So the next term will be 8 and 18 difference, that is 10. So if you observe, the common difference is 4, 4, 4. So next will be 14, next will be 18. So fifth term will be 18, option C. 33. Number of words that can be formed out of the letters of the word article, so that vowels occupy even places. Vowels are A, R, T, I, C, L, E. There are total A, R, T, I, C, L, E, 7 places. Even places are what? 2, 4, 6. There are 3 vowels and 3 even places. So 3 factorial for vowels, and remaining 4 consonants at 4 places. So 4 factorial. So 6 into 24 will be the answer. 144, option B. 34. Let Z be universal set for 2 sets. Okay. If n of A is 300, n of B is 400, and n of A intersection B is 200, then n of A dash intersection B dash is equal to 400 if, provided means if n of z is equal to what? That is a good framing. Tricky frame किया question, but easy. Fine. Understand that they are saying we want this as 400. But if we will, sorry, b dash and then bracket, okay. But if we use De Morgan's law, this is nothing but n of a union b bracket dash. How to use De Morgan's law? Take dash outside and reverse the sign. Reverse the dashes and reverse the sign. That is 400. Okay. From this we can find a union b, n of a plus n of b minus intersection. So a union b is 500. Understand, if a union b is 500, that means, see, this part is 500. Okay, I should not color it like that. Wait. This part is 500 and dash, that means the outside part is 400. That means the total must be 900, right? So option A is the correct answer. 35. In a group of 80 students, in a group of students, 80 can speak Hindi. So H is 80, 60 can speak English, so E is 60, 40 can speak Hindi and English, that means Hindi intersection English is 40. Then number of students is, that means we want Hindi union English, so same, H plus E minus intersection, 100 is the correct answer. 36. Fx gx, we want GOF 3. Okay. Understand? G of x, always think like this, g of x is 2x plus 3. That means, for example, g of a will be 2a plus 3. G of 8 will be 2 into 8 plus 3. Then g of fx will be what? 2 into fx plus 3. Right? That means g of fx is going to be 2 into fx plus 3. That is 2x square minus 2 plus 3, or 2x square plus 1. But we want to put x as 3, so it will be 3 square, 9 into 2 plus 1, that is 19. D is the correct answer. Okay. 37 is a good question. Integration of this they are asking. Okay, it seems challenging, but it is not challenging. Understand? We can write it as 2 raised to 3x can be written as 2 raised to 3 raised to x, bracket raised to x, right? 3 raised to 2 bracket raised to x and 5 raised to x dx. That means we want 2 raised to 3, that is 8 raised to x, 9 raised to x, 5 raised to x dx. Same base, so we can just multiply. 8 into 9 into 5 is 360 raised to x dx. Integration of a raised to dx is what? A raised to x dx is what? A raised to x upon log a. So 360 raised to x upon log 360. So answer is plus C. So this is option B. Why option B? Because 360 raised to x means this, right? So option B is the correct answer. That same part divided by log 360 plus C. Next, 38. Okay, 38 I have already solved in class. Let me erase this. Next. Good question. I think their answer is wrong. Let's find out. Marginal cost and marginal revenue is this and this. Fixed cost is 0. Find total profit. Total profit is what? Total revenue minus total cost. Understand the relation between total and marginal. If we have total revenue, then its derivative is marginal revenue. If we have total cost, then its derivative is marginal cost. Marginal revenue they have given us 30. That means total revenue will be its integration. So it will be 30x. Correct? 30 ka integration is 30x. Plus C part will ignore, because in revenue we generally assume that it is just per unit. Marginal cost is 6 plus 2x. So again its integration will be total cost, that is 6x plus 2x square by 2, that is x square, plus C. But that C is fixed cost and they are saying fixed cost is 0. So that's it. So total revenue minus total cost will be our answer. So our answer will be 30x minus 6x plus x square, that is 30 minus 6, 24x and minus x square. That is not in the options, but 24x minus x square should be the answer. Okay, fine. Next, they have given 22x minus x square. Maybe they wanted to give 24, I don't know. Next, 39, easy. Integration of this, let's integrate 2x, so it will be 2x square by 2, that is x square, minus 4x, from 0 to 1. So let's put 1 first. 1 minus 4, let's put 0. So that is 1 minus 4 minus 3 minus 0. So minus 3 is the correct answer, option B. 40 is again good. It is a question of maxima. Many students skip this type, but don't do that. Total cost function is this, whereas where x denotes the output. Okay. Find output level at which profit is maximum if price function is given by 450 minus 30x. Even if you have not studied derivatives, in economics you might have studied that profit is maximum when marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. That is what we have to do. Fine. So we have to find a point where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Let's understand very carefully. Cost is given as what? 10 minus 50x minus 30x square so 10 plus 50x minus 30x square plus x cube by 3. So marginal cost, that is c dash x, will be 10 will become 0, 50 minus 30 into 2x, that is 60x, plus 3 will come down, so it will be just x square. This is the marginal cost. And revenue is what they are saying, that this is the price, 450 minus 30x. They are saying that price is 450 minus 30x. Understand, revenue is price into quantity, but quantity means what? X, right? Because x is output. So let's multiply both sides by x to get revenue. So revenue will be this is x, so 450x minus 30x square. That means marginal revenue will be 450 minus 60x. Fine. Profit is maximum when marginal revenue, this is MR, is equal to marginal cost, which is this. Let's solve this. 60x can be cancelled directly. So 400 is equal to x square. That means x is equal to plus minus 20. Minus 20 is not possible because it is number of units. So x is plus 20, option D. So a good question. This MTP contained a lot of questions which were difficult. So I would suggest everyone to try out difficult questions and not skip any chapter if possible. Okay. For more MCQ practice, you can join the Telegram MCQ group, link of which is given in the description. There I generally put higher level MCQs, not the ones which you have already encountered. I generally put higher level MCQs, just like the class tests. In class tests, those who have attended my class, they know our class tests are very difficult. But in that way, you get more prepared for exam, and that helps a lot. Okay. So I hope this was helpful to everyone. So if you have any doubts, comments, let me know. Okay. And let's stop for today. Bye.